So we
So hi
we
everybody, welcome to the live streamed intro to drawing class with Caroline and Katie. I'm Katie.
I'm Caroline.
And we run a non-profit called the Joy of Drawing Inc. I'm going to go straight into it so you can see a little bit about us and where we're from. So for those of you who don't already know us, there might be a couple of people today that we have met before, but we call ourselves the two Brits who love to draw. And like I said, we're the founders of the Joy of Drawing Inc. We truly believe that drawing is an activity that anyone can enjoy and a skill that anyone can master. We have lots of different programs. We have books, we have activities, both in person and online. We have community events at libraries, senior centres. And what we really believe is that when we build students' conferences by guiding them step by step, right from the very beginning in a safe and inclusive space. So yeah, that's one of our mantras.
So there are many benefits. Like those of you who have drawn before, I may be aware of some of these, but if you haven't drawn and you're sort of thinking, hey, I might step into this universe, it kind of helps you to see things anew. Like that's what people say, oh boy, I'm kind of learning to see things. And it, enhances our community. And when we create, we're in the moment. So, if you've got something on your mind and you feel a little bit depressed or life isn't great at that particular moment, you kind of pick up your pencil and just, even if you're just doodling, doesn't matter. You're in the moment and somehow things just fall away. So that relieves your stress and it builds a mental state of calmness. And when we learn new skills like drawing, we improve our memory. And that's kind of really an important tuning our motor skill, and that actually it increases our brain health. And we know now that there are very direct correlations between creativity and all of these things that we do and our brain health. But drawing is often considered to be a right side of the brain, like where you're figuring things out. So it really it strengthens your brain. Okay,
it's amazing.
I like doing games. And then when we draw together, we draw together as a group. So we're a group here together, and we're going to draw together, and it's a unique way to show self-expression, and it builds a sense of community and pride.
Yeah, we actually have called the Joy of Drawing Club. So we meet online and in person, and so all of these things are just fantastic for improving our way of life.
Yeah. Just a way to sort of, meet with other people. It's a very positive teaching style. There's no judgment from us. And we don't want any judgment from you. So those of you that are new to drawing and maybe a little bit worried about how you're going to do today and how it's going to go, there's one rule that we are is very important. And we all have our inner critic. And that inner critic tells us we can't do things. So leave your inner critic outside the door. Just kick them out, or her, or it, or whatever it is, or them. Goodbye. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get started. So you will need a couple of basic materials for the lesson. You'll need some pencils, at least, and we'll see what these pencils are all about. And just bring any pencils you've got, and we'll have a look. You'll need some paper. If you don't have any drawing paper, just grab some from the printer. And you'll need an eraser. Again, you'll see what kind of erasers we're talking about here. So we're going to just show you very briefly what we're going to show you. We're going to run through it. But first of all, we'll just start with pencils. And if you pick up the pencils that you do have right now, just pick them up. And notice that, and you can see me right here on the edge here, you can see me. So I've got these pencils, and if I look at them on the side, you'll see they have different notations. Some of them are a bit hard to read. So you'll see they can say anything from H, 2H, 6H to 14B.
Might say a number 2 if you've got like an old-fashioned.
It could say a number 2, it could say F. So what do all these things mean? Well, if you draw a line right down the middle of your paper, and you draw a line across, and you put, like, on one side of the line it says H, on another side of the line says B. So B is black, meaning soft. H is hard. And you really don't use H much for drawing. We use that for, for drafting, because we don't want to be able to erase it. We don't want to rub it out with our fingers. With drawing, we want a nice, variety of soft pencils. So we go from HB, and then sometimes there's an F and a B, which are the same. An HB, as you can see, it's like right in the middle. It's like middle C on the piano. And then 2B, and I have to always say it, or not to be, sorry. I just have to say that. And then it goes all the way up to 14, but you won't see that. But this is so soft, it'll smear all over your paper. So if you kind of just take your paper and you kind of start just laying down whatever you've got, you'll see the more B, or the higher the B, the easier it is to, like, rub it in and move it out over and get your finger dirty. Okay, good.
For today, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter what you've got. If you've just got an HB, it doesn't matter. Whatever you've got is fine. Don't worry.
If you've got a softer, like a 2B, then definitely 4B, definitely have that out and be ready to use that.
So what I'm going to do now, rapidly go through a bunch of exercises we're going to do together, but I'll show you what they are ahead of time, so you're kind of ready. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice holding our pencil in different ways. So there are 4 different ways, and funnily enough, just knowing how to hold your pencil will change your life forever in terms of drawing. So if you can just rapidly go through this, I'll describe them. So, and we're going to actually do exercises with this. So we've got the tripod grip, or just a regular grip of how it is when you pick up your pencil or pen to write your name. Next is the paint, we call it the paintbrush grip. This is where we're holding the pencil further down. We'll practice that. This gives us more ability to make sweeping big lines and to draw softly. So the further up the pencil you go, the harder you can press. The further down you go, the lighter you go. And we like you to do light lines to start with, and you'll see why we do that. Next, the drumstick grip, which is, again, like an overhead grip. I'll show you how to do that. And then finally, we've got the top heavy grip, which is similar. So they're simple. We'll do them very shortly. And then once we've done that, we're going to be practicing with each of them this particular type of mark. We call it hatching, and we're going to be using that when we draw our eye. So it's one of the most commonly used drawing techniques, and it all goes in a single direction, as you can see here. And they're also going to teach you 2 drawing hacks, which is super useful. Number 1 is how to draw a straight line, and you can see that the paper here is on an angle. Do you see how it's on an angle? And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the other one we're going to do is how to draw a circle. So, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle or a perfectly straight line. So I'm going to go right now to my overhead, and I'll meet you on my drawing table. And there we are. So let's just have a little look here about these different materials. So first of all, here are the different pencils I've got right here. And, I put it on the side like this. This is an HB, and this here is a 4B. And it's very soft, and you can feel how soft it is. And I can rub this up, but this is not as easy, okay? The next thing is erasers. So you can use, a standard eraser like this. But they're not as good as these ones, which we call a kneaded eraser here in the US. And these are really funny. It's like silly putty. That's how they look. They're gray, and they're bendable and kneadable, and you can knead them. And doesn't matter. They get dirty, and then you can. It's much better with graphite to use one of these. So, if you want to keep going, then that would be a useful thing to get. Finally, you need a good, you're going to need something to sharpen your pencil with. I always like to have ones that are contained, and if I'm drawing outside, I don't leave behind a whole bunch of messes. So, one that's contained is pretty good. So that's it. And we're going to go to the first exercise, which is how do we hold these? Okay, let's start with the first one, and I'm going to have you do this. And I'm going to have you hold your pencil up close like this. And if you've got questions, if you know how to use the chat, put your questions in chat. I see there's a couple in there right now. And Katie will answer them on chat. And then we'll take a break after we've run through these little exercises and before we go to our eye, and then we can ask any questions in person. So here we've got, so you can see that I've got it held right close to the end. So that means I can do my little hatching, my lines. And if you can see that, you see, so I can do these lines like this. And I can get really close up and I can press really hard, actually. You get a harder pencil. See? Or I can move it up to the next position. Now, these are all outlined in our book called The Joy of Drawing, a Beginner's Manual, which is available on Amazon anywhere in the world. And this book shows you that you're now doing chapter 2, actually, from chapter 2 and chapter 1, how to hold your pencil, and then this line. So now, as I'm holding it further up, I can actually take my hand off the paper and I can make big sweeping lines. Very useful for drawing straight lines, wouldn't you agree? So I can do big, and I can do big curvy lines if I hold it, which is really hard if I've got it down here. I can't even see what I'm doing. So I hold it like this. So that's what we call the paintbrush. And that is really the way we use a pencil the most. And we only go down here when we want to do extreme close-up detail, but mostly we're holding it halfway down. That alone can be pretty mind-boggling for some folks. The next really important one is called drumstick. So you hold your hand open, place your pencil in your hand, and just softly curl your fingers around the pencil. Some people have a problem with that if they have some kind of arthritis, but hopefully you can do it. Now, what that allows us to do is we can now, if you can see this, place the pencil so that the graphite is contacting the pen, the paper like this. So this is wonderful because now I can do big areas of really soft shading. So I can do shadows. Look at that. And again, I want to do it softly. Soft shadows. And again, I'm still moving and using this, what we call hatching. See, it's just all going in one. I don't have to do I can do hatching this way. I can do it this way, but I'm still hatching. All right. Now I can also do big curvy lines with this, but I can do them on the side. Then I can go right up to the edge here. So this, I've got it held here, drumstick, go right up close to the nib, to the end of the graphite pencil. Now I can press really heavy with my finger, get lots of black. Often people say, I can't make it black enough. And the reason they can't make it black enough is they're not holding their pencil right. If you hold the pencil like this on the side, you're getting all of this wonderful black pencil on your pen. So that's that. And again, in our book, these are all individual exercises that you can do. And we recommend that you do the exercises. Also, the book has a QR code at the beginning of each chapter that gives you a little YouTube video free on how to do that particular move with which is you know, and how to do each exercise. So Katie and I have done videos for every single one. And it's got a free downloadable workbook. You can print and do these exercises in your workbook. You just print the page off and do the exercise. Kind of easy. And then if you want to do it again, print it again. All free. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to go to the next exercise, and we're ready now for the first hack, which is how do I draw a straight line? Well, we already learned a little bit about this when we were doing our, you see, I've got this sitting in front of me like this. And when I went to do my I'll hold it like this, my hand like this. When I did, the most comfortable way to do this was kind of diagonal, wasn't it? But it's pretty straight. Well, how about I just move my paper, and now, and in the way in which I comfortably can do this diagonal, see? Now it's going to be parallel to the edge of the paper. Move it again, and it's parallel up here. Let's do some straight lines. In this case, what we're doing is we're using the natural sweep of our arm from our elbow, and we're moving the paper. I'm moving the paper around. This is me sitting in front of my paper. I move it around so that it follows the natural sweep, and I hold my pencil down like this, and I just you know, that it's not perfect. It's not ruled lines, but I don't want to rule the lines, but I want to have some kind of a straight line. We'll see why this is super important. Now I want to do one at 90 degrees. Here we go. So now I'm drawing some little boxes. Pretty useful. So I may go a little bit fast for you, but you'll see how, now you can notice how I'm going very, just, you know, practice this. Ruin some, you know, just take any old paper to do this. So you just see how easy it is and how we just move the paper and not our arms. Otherwise, I'm trying to do it all scrunched up and it's really hard, and I'll get, especially if I was trying to do it with this kind of a grip and I drew a straight line, it would be, look how wavy it is. It was awful. You never do it. Now, of course, you can use a ruler, but you know, we don't have rulers all the time to hand. And in this case, you just want to do some rapid, upright, and vertical and horizontal lines. We call these guidelines. And we are going to use these so that you can do your eye. And, you know, somebody was, I think it was Laurie, was talking about, you know, loving to do things like, you know, filling in colors and, you know, and this is really the same thing where you're learning to draw by having, you know, a little template or a little thing where you can see what you're doing, and it helps you along. So you're going to see how, if you use these, and I use them, and I've been drawing since I was 3. So if I used templates, you know, and all of the great artists use templates, you can use a template. So this gives us a little basic way to see things called a grid. The next type of thing we need circles and ellipses. Circles and ellipses are everywhere, but we can have an awfully hard time if we try to do them with our hand like this. Pretty bad, because I'm just moving my fingers. Now I could just try move it up a little bit and just try moving my wrist, and it still wouldn't be that great. But what we recommend you do is move your finger down, your pencil down, so you got your paintbrush. Like you're conducting the audience, an orchestra, and put your hand on your shoulder, and then rotate your shoulder blade. And this is like an old vinyl record with the, you know, and this is like the, you know, the needle, and it just kind of let it alight down.
You go, so you're using it from here.
And you'll get a pretty good, and you get do several lines, and then you can, erase the lines that kind of, went a little bit skew with, and just keep the ones you want. And you'll notice that it's very, very light, very light. Isn't it right, Katie?
Yeah, definitely. I was just showing them how I'm doing it here, so you can see my.
And then similarly, if I wanted to create a sort of 3D ball, I could do,
Ellipses.
ellipse here, and a bunch of ellipses here. And that would be, all of a sudden, you've got a bit of a 3D ball, don't you? Amazing.
Okay, so did we get any questions of those things? Has anyone got any questions at all? Or if you've got trouble doing that, is everyone okay? Do unmute yourself.
Well, let's take a little break here and then go back to you, Katie, because I think we're ready for the eye. Did I go a little fast?
I think everyone's okay. If there is anything anybody wants to question, do let us know.
Okay, so you can come off mute. Everybody come off mute and let's just chat. Yeah, hi. Sue, question.
It's the paintbrush holding the whole time, right? We're using that.
Well, yes, for those lines, yes, absolutely. We were doing everything in paintbrush.
Okay.
And especially the circle.
Okay.
Because you can gotta get a larger circle. So the paintbrush, honestly, is the most regularly used.
Yeah.
And we're only going to do this and go over when we're doing shading. That's the shading.
Okay.
So, it's kind of funny. You kind of, you can practice moving it. This is so natural to Katie and I. We'll do this in our sleep, but, kind of going between the two. But, it takes a while. So that's why we recommend practice. But once you get this, it enables you to do so much in drawing that nobody ever taught you. And you go, why did nobody tell me that? So let's take mine off. Okay, any other questions before we go forward? Jack, I didn't have an, oh yeah, so Jack is from, who's from Canada? Jack is from Canada. And then Annie, Crystal, we haven't said hi to you yet, but that's all fine. So we're gonna, I think everybody looks to be okay. And I want to give us as much time as possible to do the next exercise. So as Katie and I said, these basic exercises that we're introducing you to, we're going to be using them to draw the eye, but we recommend that you get the book, because if you get the book, and there are ways you can also get the book as a PDF, which is for free, and we'll tell you about that at the end of the lessons. Okay, so here we have, we're going to use these two hacks. So you should have this image in front of you. And if you do, it's going to be really, really useful. So the first thing you're going to do, oh boy, guess what, Katie? I forgot to get my images. I think I've got them underneath my other desk. So the first thing you're going to do, Katie, can you just lead them a little bit on drawing the crosshair?
Yeah.
So you can see, just everybody, I just want to show you why we've done this. The reason we taught you how to draw these straight lines, and I realize these are ruled, but don't worry about that. We're going to draw a crosshair. We're going to draw a target. And you can see that by doing that, you can sort of see the eye. You can see where the iris is. You can see where the outside of the eye is. You can even see, this is a little hard to see, but you can even see a larger one, which is the eyeball itself. So we draw 3 concentric circles and a crosshair. And it's easier to draw the crosshair through the middle first, and then mark out equidistant points on each side to draw the middle circle, the second circle, and the outer circle. So Katie, if you could lead them on that, showing them this image while I find my images, then that'll be great. Okay.
Sure, or I can put the image up too. That's fine. I'm just going to move over.
Oh, okay. Why don't you do that? And put the image up and I'll do the drawing. That's a perfect idea.
I'm gonna do that.
So here we go. You can get ready. So get your pen, get your pen. Now, we really like it if you do a large eye, not a tiny little eye. You know, let's try a larger eye because it's more impressive. So we'll want 2 crosshairs. So hold your paper is going to be this way. This is what we call landscape. And we'll use our hack and we'll draw a line right the way across, very lightly across the middle of your paper. And then turn your paper around 90 degrees and draw another one. So you do it, you know, several times. If you didn't get it quite right, draw it this way and draw one across this way. So you got 1, 2, okay? Then you can mark out just little tiny dots on each side that are equidistant from the middle. And then, you know, you can use your round and round. I'm using my to do this little center one, but you kind of hit the dots, to sort of hit the dots. And then you can make another series of little dots, and they're equidistant from each side. So then you can hit the dots again. I'll give you a bit of time to do this. And then finally, one more for the eyeball itself. Not too big. And if it isn't quite right, do you know what? It actually doesn't matter, does it, Katie?
It all works out in the end.
It all works out. So don't stress over it. This is not supposed to be stressful. So 3 little dots, 3 little circles, kind of pretty well for the center of the eye. And, you know, if you can, I don't know how familiar you are with Zoom, but there are little hands that you can put up, like little you could put a little reaction up saying that you've done it. So you could put a thumbs up, you know, so you can see my thumbs up. And then we know that you're done and we're not going so fast. Or you can just put your thumb up when we can see you. And then if you put a thumbs up when you're done with and this is what we call, you've created your guidelines. And if you're not drawing, but you're just watching, which some of you may be, that's fine too. Looks like you're done. Okay, good. There's Laurie's done. Laurie, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No, wasn't bad. They're just not as round as yours.
That doesn't matter, darling. Not
And
at
then
all.
the dots almost was like a baseball diamond, so then I was trying to get it round.
It
You'll
comes
get good at it.
Mm.
Eva, how's yours coming? Yay.
Okay,
And
these are
Zaki,
just guidelines, so you're going to go back over these.
so everybody here, I think, is coming along okay. So yours is, Eva, you're doing it awesome. I'd love to see your mom's work, Eva. Maybe if you join our community, we'd love to see it. You could share it.
Okay.
Connie, how about you, Doug?
I have an Instagram account.
Connie, how are you doing? How are you doing? Sue, all good? All good, Sue? Good. All right, and Crystal, Jack, Annie, and Tammy, and then and I think that, and Carol. Oh, Carol King. Oh boy, I was watching the Carol King special. Okay, so JT, you must be Jack Tattersall and Tammy Thompson, and Annie. Okay, great. So I think we're ready to go to the next step. Okay, the longer we give ourselves, the better, right, Katie?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to go to the next step, and we're going to keep this up so you can see where these are, okay? I'm going to keep these up, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing in the eye shape. So can you go back to there? That was very helpful. There we go. So now you can see, if you look at the eye, and this is what people have the biggest trouble with, the top eyelid doesn't come here. It comes here. Look at it. So now this is really what's important about drawing. And that's why drawing is so relaxing. You have to be in the moment. You're not looking inside your head. So that, make a little note where you can see where the top eyelid comes. It comes right there, just above the pupil. And the bottom eyelid comes below the pupil. Okay, this is just above, sorry, the pupil, the iris. This is below the iris. I'm making big, large marks here. You can make little tiny ones because you'll be erasing them. Now, the end of the eyelid comes below the line on the right. So make a little note, below the line. And the left side of the eyelid comes even further down from the center line. And just below the edge of the eyeball. See? Right here. Isn't that interesting? This is where the nose is going to come here, by the way. So now, we now can just very lightly sketch in the shape of our eyelid, of our eye. We're going to sketch it in, and we're going to sketch it in because we can see it more easily because we can compare it to these lines. And that's what drawing's all about. It's sort of like a jigsaw puzzle. Anybody that likes jigsaw puzzles, you're figuring it out, and you're seeing one thing against another. This is a little different than when you're just doing, doodling in your head. This is actually looking. So now we've got this eye shape. Now yours might not be like mine, but now you can take your eraser and you can sort of erase these lines, but don't erase everything. You can just erase them. And bingo, you've got the start of your eye. So we'll give you a minute to do that. And you can get rid of these I'm going to get rid of my very strong marks here, because I'll want it nice and light. And you go, oh, that's not how an eye looks. But it actually is how an eye looks. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Are you with me? Yeah. Anybody still working on it? Want a bit more time? Just speak up. Okay, great. Thanks, King. All right. All good, Eva? All right. Connie, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Good. Okay, great. All right. So now we're going to start actually drawing in the eyeball. We're going to go. So this now we can go a little bit closer up. Now you can use, because this is going to be closer work. So we're going to hold our pencil more up in, like you hold it for writing. And if you hold it with 3 fingers, it doesn't matter, just so long as it, because you're doing it. So now if you notice in this part here, it's white. Can you point out where it's white, Katie?
Yeah, I'm going to swap to this bit, to this one.
So you can see this is white, and we want to leave that white. So we're just going to make a little dot, a little square here. That is where the eye is reflecting.
Yeah.
And all, you know, our eyes are wet, so they reflect. There's always going to be some kind of a reflection. And if you've got somebody close to you and you look deep into their eyes, you are going to see a reflection. And you'll often see the reflection is the window and the window panes and all kinds of interesting reflections, whatever is, you know, in the light. But this is nice and dark, so you can really make your pupil very, very black. It's just totally black. It just absorbs the light. So now we're going to go to all of these little lines on the outside. And if you look at these lines on the outside, you'll see they're like a sun. So if this was the center of the sun, which is the pupil, so if you draw a sun and you just draw rays outside, this time I'm going a little bit further down on the pen and I'm drawing little rays. Some can be harsher, some can be, so that's how I'm going to do this. So these are still, but look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the pen. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to move my paper around, you see? And it's going to let me put these little rays in, and they're going to be all kind of a ray, and I'm going to try and avoid that little white. But here come my rays. And sometimes it's helpful, as Katie suggests. Katie, do you want to tell them about that, you know?
Yeah, sure. It's a bit like something that
tracing.
goes into your brain. It's like you're kind of training your brain. So you can just go trace over the marks if you're finding it difficult and you can't work it out. It's like, how would you make this mark? So you can just go over it if you've got this printed out. It's really helpful to do it.
And you can see that on the outside of the pupil of the iris, it's darker. So it's sort of like, it's sort of like a little bit like a flower, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're using your different hatching marks to kind of fill
They're
it in.
sort of going, this time they're kind of going around in a fan-like motion.
And where you see it, you know, start off light, like Caroline's done, and start to
So yeah, you can add in more marks where it's darker. It's pretty much totally dark under the eyelid here. And if it gets too, if you get too much, you could just use your eraser and just erase a little bit. So this is starting to look a heck of a lot like an eye. And, you know, someone, and Laurie was saying, well, I didn't do the greatest circle. Well, neither did I. Mine's a little bit off, but, you know, this is the point where I can make little corrections and go, oh, I need to make my circle a bit better here. So that's why we always say draw light and carry a big stick. Okay. So now, you'll be amazed at this, but the very first shading we're going to do is actually not adding eyeshadow onto the top of the eyelid, because you can see the top of the eyelid, that's where it catches the light. So this is light, but the eyelid hoods, it's like a little hood over the eye, your eye. And so I'm now going to move my hand here. I'm now going to hold my pencil like this, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of shading underneath the eyelid, the top eyelid. I'm going to shade it a little tiny bit. Look how 3D it's starting to look. Isn't that amazing? And now I can just do it. That's my first bit of shading that I'm going to put in. Just lightly, lightly. Don't worry about the black line or the mascara line here. We're going to do that later. Everything's pretty light at this point, except for right in the middle here, where you can afford to just keep adding nice black, see into her soul. So now, no eyelashes yet. That's the last step. We put on the eyelashes later. Put on her we're going to give her some lashes later on. All right, so now we're going to do above, right here, above the, you want to show it, the crease of the eyelid right here. And we're going to just draw that in. And again, you can see that it ends up here, right at the edge on the left. And then it goes around and comes back to the edge on the right. So you can just do a little light line around here. And, you can give it quite big lids. Don't make it too, you can give her a sizable lid. Don't do it like right down here so she's got no lids, because otherwise she wouldn't have enough eyelid to go over her eye, which would be kind of weird. So let's draw that line in, that crease. And then we're going to put a pencil on its side, and we're going to use, so this is now again where I'm putting the pencil this way. And I'm going to start doing very, very soft shading all the way up to the brow line. I'm going to go down here into there we go. This is the eye socket here, up to the brow line. And a little bit over on the top of the eyelid on this side. And a little bit over here, but continuously down here. And then, you can take your finger, just kind of soften it up a little bit. And then now I'm going back to see how I keep going, ringing the changes. I'm going back here because I want to just make this a little darker now in the crease. I want to darken up my crease a bit. And I'm going to start, and I'm going to do a little bit more shading underneath the eye. This is the 5 o'clock shadow. Can we show the shadow? Yeah, she's got a wee bit of 5 o'clock shadow, and it comes down here. So again, see, it automatically just went back over. So this is a matter of, change and change and change. That's her shadow. She just was out a little bit late, or got up a bit late, or whatever. And it's getting quite dark. So now you're going to start to observe it gets quite dark. And we're going to add in all the kind of really black darknesses at the end. So we're going to draw in the brown next, Katie. So if you can show the brow. So now Katie will show you how it starts, the brow starts to the left of the eye, not over here. It starts here. And you can just sort of sketch in a bit of a shape. It ends up right over here. There's a bit of a shape, and it kind of lifts up. This is one woman, obviously had a lot of, spend a lot of money on her brows. And now, so you can just do a little shape and oh, I'm going to fit my brow in there. And you can just very lightly kind of do a little bit of shading underneath that shape. So you can just at least get the shape right. And it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, you can build your own brow. You can do it however you want. You don't have to do it like this, ladies. But you do notice that they kind of go up here. So now you take this is again what Katie's showing you. To do these little her eyebrows, we're going to practice another little way to make lines. So on this practice, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to hold my pencil very close up to the edge here. And I'm going to press and let it go. See? I press hard and I sort of let it go. So rather than the line being like that, it's like that. It's like a little check. And now, if you go on your thing, you'll see that they go upwards to start with. You make these little check marks here. And then these little marks, and if you go on your photograph, you can see that the marks start to fan around. Until they're almost flat here. So they kind of fan around, and again, you know, I'm moving my paper around to make my little marks. You see my little straight lines. Now I'm not going to spend any more time on this right now, but you can see that we're starting to get a brow in here. And I'm going to take out, now I'm going to take out the, I don't need this, these lines anymore. And so now I've got an eye, I've got the brow, and let's next start and approach the eyelashes. So just like the brow, would like you to go over on, Katie's going to do this. You'll see that they fan out. They go straight up at this end, but this end, and they're kind of a bit curvy. This end, it's like fanning out, like, see, they fan this way. Sometimes it's easier to sort of go in the middle and then kind of mark so that you kind of got your fan kind of right, and they get hard at the middle and then out like this. And we're starting to build the eyelashes, and you have to do a lot of them. And I'm doing this with an HB pencil. Everything I'm doing is with a pencil that I could have gotten from school. But I'm going to want to put in some nice dark at the very end, so I'll use a different pencil at that point. But this is doing fine for me right now. And the one down below, similar. But, you know, not as many of them, and of course a lot shorter. Give you a little chance to do that. So we've got 7 minutes left, because some folks might need to leave. So I want to be able to finish this off. So I'm going to choose, and I have a much darker pencil. This is a 5B. This is a 2B. This is a 4B. So now this pencil is going to let me get my darks really dark. So I'm going to go right in here. You see, I'm holding it up. Now I'm going to be able to put the darks in. And I'm going to be able to go really dark in here. Bit of dark around the edge here, pressing hard. So this is sort of where we do the final step, which is what we call the detail. And often we're now using our original grip tripod, because we want to press hard and we want to get all the black in. you know.
Do you want to say something about this bit here that's underneath?
Right here, where,
You know, like the inner bit of it, just leaving that.
yeah, we want to leave this light here because the light actually, and you know where you, for the ladies, where you put your kohl pencil on this inside part, because it often is white because it's catching the light. So we'll put a tiny bit of shading behind it because the eye is 3D, so it's going to be a little tiny bit of shading on the eyeball itself here. And then it's going to be light here. And the eyelashes are going to come from the edge here. And again, you know, you could put a bit of kohl in here. Kohl pencil, you know, the black pencil. When I used to do my eyes before COVID, before Zoom, didn't have to bother with it. And now I'm just going to start putting in. So this here is a little bit of, you see inside here, that kind of like little bit of, this is the edge of the eye here on the left. And then there's some wet, it's kind of wet if you look in your own eyes. This is sort of a bit of a skin in here. It's often wet. And in hers, yeah, so you can just literally look at it and just start copying whatever you see. That's what you see, and then, you know, adding a bit more. And the more you go, the darker you go, the more realistic this eye is going to be. See, it's getting more and more and more realistic. The more I go, I can come in with this darker pencil now and give us some really cool dark lashes. Those are, whoa! Looks like she came from you know, wherever they go to get some eyelashes. I never did falsies, but looks like she's got some.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could put a few extras in her. So it's just all about now adding detail, taking your eraser, making sure that little eye, that little reflection is really bright. And the way you can make it look brighter is to make it darker around the edge. The darker something is, the lighter the thing will be next to it. That's a little datum for you on contrast. We put really dark around that little, so now see, it really pops out. All right, Katie, I think we're done.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So there you've got your final eye. Don't be comparing yours to mine. Don't ever compare your work, because I've been at it for a long time and we do this all the time, you know, and don't, you know, criticize your eye or decide, you know, you'll get better and better. But what I've taught you and what Katie and I've taught you is a process. So, you know, when you're doing that process, if you know how to hold your pencil, you know all of these things, the better you'll just get better and better and better and better and better as you go forward, okay? Until you can do perfect eyes. So let's take mine off and I'll put myself back on here. Move around so you don't see my kitchen. And let's have a look, see anybody that wants to share. We'd love to have you share. Don't feel bad about sharing. This is a very, wow, whoa, holy whoa.
Well done, Sue.
Isn't
Did
that
you
so
want to take
awesome?
yourself off mute and say anything about it? Sue, do you want to take yourself off mute and then you can just say how, if you enjoyed it?
So wow, this is like the best thing I've ever done.
Oh,
And it's amazing.
true. I'm so
So
happy.
thank you for
Oh,
all
you're
this.
so
That's
welcome.
great.
Well, you know, in our classes, and we're going to tell you, we do have 2 ways to do our introductory class. But in our classes, we try to do every single class you do, you end up with something as good as that. Like there is like a wow.
Yeah.
But every class, it's like going into a kitchen. So you go in the kitchen and you learn these beginning things, but every little time you learn something simple, like it gives you a delicious dish that you can give to somebody and they go, oh my God, you're like the most amazing chef in the world. But you now learn that skill. So we take you skill by skill
Yeah.
by skill.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to draw an animal, you're going to draw a cat, you're going to draw this, you're going to draw all kinds of different things. Each time you do it, you're going to have something you're like, you have that reaction to. So let's see how, Laurie, how did you do?
Hi, Laurie.
I don't know how to make it big so you can see.
Oh,
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 okay.
Laurie, that's brilliant.
So
Yay,
But
you
I
did
did
you
gotta
ever
work on
think-
the triangle part, like it's not the,
Oh, I
It's
think it's
perfect.
okay. You just got to put a
Laurie,
bit more
it's
shading underneath.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I had so
great.
much fun.
Good. Oh, it's so
That wasn't
good.
hard, was it?
No.
Good. It's supposed
And
to be
growing up,
spicy.
it was always like, oh, I can't do the eyes. How do you do the
Oh,
eyes?
now you
But
know.
the little, yeah.
And what about,
Let's go over to Belgium and see how we're doing.
hi Eva, do you want to show how you got on?
I gotta get a sketchbook.
Yes, you have to get a sketchbook. They're very, oh,
Oh,
well
Eva, that's
done.
great. That's awesome. Hold it up.
Just hold it up in front of your face. Put it in front of your face.
Wow. That
And
is
just
really
put your sketchbook
amazing.
put your sketchbook in front of your face, and then we go over.
That's
That's
fine.
okay. That's okay. We can see it. Yay!
Yay,
Well
look at
done.
that. Oh, that's
Well
brilliant,
done.
Eva.
Yay!
It's
Great.
so good.
Thank
Well
you.
Good. Did you enjoy it? Does anybody else want to share? Otherwise, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
we want to see
Yes,
this. Let's go to
absolutely.
Connie.
Oh, you don't want to, Connie? Oh, you're on mute, darling.
She came off. Here we go.
Yay! Oh, well done.
Brilliant. That is
Yes.
so good, Connie. Did you enjoy yourself?
She's on mute.
You're on
okay.
mute, darling. Yeah, you're mute. You're on mute. I hope you're saying nice things.
I hope you enjoyed it. Oh,
Here she comes. Can we hear you? Can you talk?
I'm just gonna do it again.
good.
And I have the book, so I'm gonna take the book and do it again.
Good, Connie.
Excellent,
And
Connie.
we'll share this. We'll email you this slideshow, okay?
Brilliant. Okay, let's go now to, we've done Sue, we've done Zakini. Zakini, can you chair, or Annie, or any of you? Yeah,
I don't
anybody
know.
that would like to?
Yeah,
Great.
sure.
Hi, darling. Let's have a look at you.
Wow.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Cool.
Oh, can you believe
Oh,
it?
wow.
Thank you.
That's
Did you
so
enjoy
cool.
yourself?
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think there's a bit I go wrong and I have to do it again quickly.
Okay. That's okay.
But I do
Great.
I feel like the eyelashes I just not really happy with it.
Okay.
So yeah, I just
You
need
can
a
do it
bit more
again.
practice.
You can do it
Yeah.
again.
You know
It's
what?
all
Every
about
single
practice.
one of the ones I've seen so far, are some of the best I've seen.
You guys
So
are
I'm
amazing.
extremely proud of everybody. Anybody else who
Thank
wants
you.
to share? We're going to tell. Oh yeah, here's somebody, Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi,
Where are you
well, you
from?
can see by mine, I'm very much a newbie to drone.
Hi. Oh, you come from. Where are you from, Amanda? You're from home.
Northern Ireland,
Oh,
Northern Ireland. Oh my God, from Belfast or outside.
Portadown.
oh,
Oh wow, I
wow.
love your.
Beautiful.
Isn't that
Only about 45 minutes in the train to Belfast. But you can,
Oh, well, welcome, Amanda. I'm so glad you could join us. Did you
I
enjoy
enjoy doing it, but I need to put plenty more practice into drawing out.
I love your accent. You've got to come to our classes. I love all you guys.
Yes, I enjoyed that there. I've actually signed up for next week again.
Okay,
Awesome.
great. Yeah, we'll be there next month. Yeah, absolutely. Come to the next one.
Is it once a month or once a week?
It's once a month. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's every
I
second.
know I've signed up anyway.
Yeah, great. We'll see you then. Yeah, so we'll do
Right,
some.
thank you.
We might do a tree.
Yeah, we're going to do a tree next time. So anybody that wants to come to our next one, we do it every month. First Friday mostly, unless there's something
Second
special. on that.
Friday. Second Friday.
Second Friday, I'm sorry. So let us tell you a little bit about what we've got in store for you, what's next for you. Those of you that are keen to, to act, you're all doing fabulous, so what we saw. So those of you that are keen to know more, there's two ways you can get the book. So number one, you can always go in your library and request the book.
Yes.
Just note it down, beginner's manual. It is available to libraries. It's not stocked in libraries yet, but you can always go in your local library. When you get the book, Katie, I don't know if you could open a book and show them, but you have what we call QR codes, and you can go to the, go to that QR code. So libraries, I think in the US, actually libraries anywhere, it's available through the place of libraries get the books, okay?
Yes.
So it's great to have your own copy, which case you go to Amazon, get your own copy. And then if you join our Creative Journey with our special offer and you join our Drawing Club Community Club, we actually send, do we? I think
Yes,
you got.
we do, yeah. We send you a
We send you a PDF copy of the book. So that is an electronic book. So you get an electronic copy of the book free of charge. It's just $4.95 for the whole month, which is a really great deal. You can cancel at any time. And what that also gives you is you get one free workshop with us. So if you're like Sue, who lives in Menlo Park, you might want to come and join us for one of our sketch walks. The next one being at the Anderson Museum in Palo Alto at Stanford, Sue. That will be at the end of June. And that you get free of charge. So you can use, or you can come to our monthly, we do a monthly online workshop. And the next one upcoming will be on Sunday in July, but after July 4th weekend. And that's going to be about drawing food. We're going to draw some pizza and God knows what. And yeah, so that would be free for you. So you could select whichever one you wanted for free. You just get one. You also get 20% off my 4-week drawing class, which starts on Tuesday. It's on Tuesday morning at 10:30, so it's okay for Europeans. That goes for 4 weeks. In that class, it's an hour and a half each week.
Yeah.
It's recorded if you can't come, but you want the recording. You can also join on a weekly basis if you want to, but you get 20% off. So you get so once you sign up, you get an email. It shows you everything you get for free. It includes your copy of the book, so on and so forth. It's the ideal way. Plus, you're a member of our community. You get to come to our monthly community event. You can share your work and so on and so forth. So it's really lovely. And that's what we have for you. So our class, I do have room for a few more folks on Tuesday morning. We'd love to have any of you. So if you're interested in if you're kind of like, oh my God, I got to keep going. It's really helpful to have somebody there to help you. That's an online class. So Laurie, love to have you if you're available. Sue, love to have you. Connie, any of you. Eva, any of you that would love to come. And even you, Amanda, I'd love to have you. And Zaki, any of the others of you. Love to have you. Otherwise, if you're in the Bay Area, Katie and I do go to different libraries right now in the San Mateo area. So, Sue, if you'd like to come and, join our class in person, if you like in-person classes, Connie, Sue, we'll be there, and you can go to our website, and Katie will show you our website right now.
Yeah, I've put the link into
yeah, and you can go to the website, and when you enter the website, if you actually join, you can just join the website. You can sign up for our thing. So you go here to sign up for the class, all the way at the bottom, and there's your $4.99. Sorry, I was off by 5 cents. I owe you. Okay. $4.99, and you just click
And
join.
if you can just join for 1 month, and that if you just want to do that, that's absolutely fine. You can cancel at any time, but you paid for that first
But
month.
it's a great deal. You're going to get a book.
Yeah.
In the book, you're going to have 10 videos for all, like literally videos for everything we do, a free workbook, you name it. So makes it very affordable for you. And you know, you can join from anywhere. You also here can see all of our different classes that we have, the weekly ones, and you can join from there. And you can also see our library, our calendar on your on your laptop. It's the best thing to use for the calendar, and you can find something that interests you, just tap it and it automatically links to signing up. So there you go. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
That was really enjoyable.
I'll send you guys an email from the Joy of Drawing book. So recognize that email, the joyofdrawingbook@gmail.com. And I'll send you the recording, I'll send the slideshow, and also send you all about how you can do more with us. Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Great. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.